of the rim. Got it! On the slam. Oh, using Curry way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry!
The 2022 season started, and so did the hot takes. Jalen Green was mid. That was the diagnosis amongst most who like to judge rookies far before it's really necessary. I mean, it doesn't mean they were 100% wrong though. His play was definitely mid, and that was only put under a microscope with his rookie class peers either having an immediate impact on winning or doing everything they were expected to do based on their draft placement. At pick number 2, up until All-Star break, 15 points and 2 assists on 31% from 3 and 39% from the field on a perennial losing team just wasn't cutting it. Also, if you were to watch him at the time absent of stats, the conclusion wasn't a whole lot better. There was just a tiny kid on your screen that didn't have a lot to immediately offer other than his athleticism. However, using that world-class burst of speed, he could blow by a defender and give you a highlight at any moment. Given that he was also a world-class leaper, you essentially had an inefficient highlight machine with much to learn. That burst of speed would occasionally give him a window to get a jump shot off the dribble, which oftentimes wasn't well paced and wasn't falling. The other thing that wasn't falling, as mentioned earlier, was his 3-ball. Playing the bulk of his minutes at shooting guard, teams were content to let him try to create one off the dribble or leave him space to shoot off of a catch. Therefore, the only real positives for much of this season was that he had a great base to work from as an athlete. Also, he could randomly catch fire to show you what the future might hold.
A couple of flybys. Blocked by Davis! Picked up, they've got time to shoot, and they'll dunk it home. Tate, hold on. This has got to go down for Houston, and it does by Green, despite the effort by Bazemore.
You almost give up a concession basket here if necessary, without a 3.
Whatever the Rockets are doing, they better do it quickly. Green! Oh, Green! From the outside!
Wow. That was special. That was special. Even though the Lakers should not have given it up. We've got a one-possession game.
That Laker performance earlier in the season was special, and I think he's well on track to be special as he descends upon season 2. A small sample since All-Star break, sure, but he's a top 2 pick with all the tools to become a great player and plenty of room to grow, so it shouldn't be a problem to get excited. Or I should say, you don't need much to be. Since then, he's averaged 22 points on 36% from 3 and 50% from the field. Quite the jump in efficiency, so what's changed? Well, for starters, the Rockets are letting him experiment with point guard minutes more and more. This season, in 1,570 minutes played, only 22% of those have been at the point guard position. As he's got the ball in his hands more, he's getting some very valuable reps as a decision maker and more opportunity to create quality looks for himself or his teammates. Instead of receiving the ball and having to create something random with his explosion, he's able to make reads and tailor his shot or pass based on how he's being defended. The Lakers game last night, in which he scored a season-high 32, was a perfect example of how far along he's come in such a short time. Even on plays he didn't score, you can see the vision, i.e. this drive on Russell Westbrook where he set the pace to bait him into a foul. While it wasn't called, as he gets stronger and time passes, he'll be creating more contact like this and possibly even finish through it. Of course, if and when he really ascends to that star status, this is most definitely getting called. Getting to his spots as a point guard with the ball in his hands will be vital in his game, and he did that plenty, taking advantage of some real old and tired legs on the other side. Specifically on one play, before he began routinely abusing Carmelo, he set him up perfectly, used the ball screen, and instead of an ill-advised pull-up or errant drive, he comfortably paced himself to an open shot for 2. That type of action became the diet as time passed, realizing the Lakers weren't going to pull Melo, and also realizing he's at the worst defensive point of his career. Wasn't just him though, there were at least 2 plays where he purposely got LeBron switched onto him and found shots that he liked. Taking what the defense would give him in a quick manner was encouraging, but I'd imagine they won't be able to give him space like that in the next few years. And when they can't, the lanes are going to open up for him to either posterize help defenders, finish regularly, or kick to an open man. There were only a few assists, but once again, it's about keying in on his decision making with the ball. A quick blow-by of Russ leads him into the trenches where he could try for a highlight or forced finish, but instead opts to whip a quick pass to the open man. So when the night was finished, Green had taken over the extra period, hunted players that were drafted when he was about a year old, and set a career high to continue what has been an eye-popping streak since the break. He also wasn't very shy about calling out exactly what was on the memo.
You opened up overtime on a 13-0 run. What was the mindset from the group on the floor when you're facing LeBron James on the other side in an overtime game?
I mean, the game plan was to attack Melo, put him in isolation, and my teammates kept feeding me. So I knew what to do with it, went to go get bucket, and it turned out perfectly. And on top of that, we all hit shots, so it all worked out Yeah, we just in tight mode all game.
Tough day for us 2000s watchers to hear a kid calling one of our beloved stars food. I mean, Melo has never been great on defense, but this one just particularly hurt to watch and hear. Looking at his early career shot chart, I'm optimistic. This is already a very high rim pressure player, which as he develops is only going to create more points for both he and his teammates. His tendency to pull up from the top of the key and free throw line are going to give pick and roll defenders hell as they decide whether to play him at the level and open up potential blow-bys or concede what I expect to become an efficient staple of his jump shooting. Either way, for now, we've got yet another young guy with a bright future in this league. He's literally just one of many, especially from this class, and I'm excited to see the competition mount. So let me know in the comments, who's your favorite young prospect and what are you expecting from Jalen Green going forward? Also be sure to hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed, while hitting the bell next to my name if you want notifications every time a video drops. If this video makes it out before the Nets and Sixers game tonight, I will be doing a live watch party for that on Twitch, so you can find that in the link in the comment section, and description. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.